The rain hammered against the observation deck windows of Station Nexus 7, creating rivulets that distorted the view of the alien cityscape below. Kamal pressed his palm against the cool glass, watching the bioluminescent towers pulse with their native rhythm. 3 years stationed on Zephyria, and he still found the sight mesmerizing. Another sleepless night? Lisa's voice carried from behind him. His research partner approached with 2 steaming cups, her blonde hair disheveled from another late session in the xenobiology lab. The atmospheric pressure changes always mess with my sleep cycle, Kamal replied, accepting the coffee gratefully. Plus, I keep thinking about tomorrow's presentation to the council. Their breakthrough in interspecies communication had earned them an audience with the Zephyrian High Council, an honor no human had received before. The neural translation matrix they'd developed could bridge the gap between human consciousness and the Zephyrians' emotion-based language system. A soft chiming interrupted their conversation. The station's proximity sensors had detected movement near the main entrance, unusual for this time of night. Kamal frowned at his datapad. Someone's outside. They descended to the station's lower level, where the massive airlock served as the boundary between their human environment and Zephyria's methane-rich atmosphere. Through the reinforced viewing port they saw her. The young Zephyrian female couldn't have been more than 15 in human years. Her translucent skin flickered with distressed patterns of deep purple and orange, and her 4 arms wrapped around her slight frame. Most striking were the tears. Actual tears, something Kamal had never seen from a Zephyrian before. "Lisa, look at her biosignatures," he whispered, checking his scanner. "Her emotional wavelengths are off the charts." The alien girl noticed them through the viewport and rushed forward, pressing her hands against the barrier. Her mouth moved frantically, but without their translation equipment active, her words were just melodic sounds. "We need to suit up," Lisa said immediately. "She's clearly in distress." Minutes later, they emerged through the airlock in their environmental suits, the girl's relief visible in the way her skin patterns shifted to brighter hues. She grabbed Kamal's gloved hand with surprising strength. "Please," she said, the universal translator in his helmet rendering her words into accented English. "You must follow me home. My family. They need to see what humans truly are." Kamal exchanged glances with Lisa through their helmet visors. The girl's desperation was palpable, but protocol demanded they report any contact with locals to command. "What's your name?" Lisa asked gently, kneeling to the girl's eye level. "Zara," she replied, her skin now pulsing with urgent yellows and blues. "My father speaks to the council tomorrow. He wants to vote for the human expulsion." The words hit Kamal like a physical blow. For months there had been rumors of growing anti-human sentiment among some Zephyrian factions, but he'd hoped their research would prove humanity's value to the galactic community. "Why does he want us gone?" Kamal asked. Zara's patterns dimmed to muted grays. "He believes humans are cold, emotionless, incapable of true empathy." She looked up at them with large, luminous eyes. "But I've watched you both from afar. I've seen your kindness to our injured wildlife, your patience with our children who play near your station. Please, show him what I've seen." Against protocol, against common sense, Kamal found himself nodding. "Lead the way." They followed Zara through winding bioluminescent streets, past curious Zephyrians, whose skin patterns shifted to cautious oranges, at the sight of humans walking freely among them. The girl's home was a modest crystalline structure that hummed with organic energy. Inside, they found Zara's father, an imposing figure whose skin bore the deep indigo marks of a council member. He rose from his meditation alcove, his patterns immediately flashing angry reds. "Zara, what is the meaning of this?" "Father, these are the humans I told you about. Please, just speak with them." What followed was the longest night of Kamal's life. Using their portable translation matrix, they engaged in deep conversation with Counselor Thren. They shared stories of human history, both the failures and the triumphs. They spoke of love, loss, hope, and the driving curiosity that brought humanity to the stars. Most importantly, they listened. They learned of Thren's fears, that humanity's rapid technological advancement would eventually threaten Zephyrian culture, that human military vessels would follow the research stations, that his people would become another conquered species in humanity's expansion. "Your daughter," Lisa said softly as dawn approached. "She sees something in us that you fear isn't there." Thren's pattern shifted to contemplative blues. "Zara has always been perceptive. We're not perfect," Kamal admitted. "Humanity has made terrible mistakes, but we're trying to learn to be better. Isn't that what matters?" As the first rays of Zephyria's twin suns filtered through the crystalline walls, Zara curled up between her father and the two humans, her skin glowing with peaceful purples. The sight of his daughter's trust seemed to affect Thren deeply. "Perhaps," he said slowly, "I have been too quick to judge." The council session later that day would become legendary in diplomatic circles. Councillor Thren's passionate speech about giving humanity a chance, based on a single night of genuine connection, swayed the vote. The human research stations would remain, but more importantly, a real dialogue had begun. Months later, as Kamal watched human and Zephyrian children play together in the station's expanded community center, he often thought of that rainy night. Sometimes the most profound changes came not from grand gestures or technological breakthroughs, but from one young girl brave enough to reach across the vast divide between species and say, "Please, help me show them who you really are." In the end, that's exactly what they had done.